We're at our first campground that we've stopped at that's near a city on our 2022 trip with Neo the Geo. We're at Fontainebleau State Park in Louisiana, which is right on Lake Pontchartrain. Just across the lake, which is actually a really big lake. I had no idea the lake was this big. It's 620 square miles. We've got to go across a bridge that's 26 miles long across to get to downtown New Orleans. Then we'll take a look at the French Quarter and whatever's just interesting to see in New Orleans. So if you can come with us, you can check out New Orleans with us. Driving into New Orleans, we passed by the Superdome, the home to the New Orleans Saints, the hated rivals of our Buccaneers. But we headed down to Bourbon Street for a walk down the iconic boulevard. We're at Café du Monde in the French Quarter, and we're here to get their famous coffee, Coffee de Latte, which is actually half coffee, half steamed milk, and their French donuts called beignets. Supposedly pretty good. Give it a try. Lots of powder, very deep fried, very good. At the end of the French Quarter is Jackson Square. A lot of horse-drawn carriages to take rides to there, and the big iconic church, but right on the other side is the Mississippi River. What New Orleans has done is built this nice walking or maybe biking pathway that goes next to the river, so you can walk down and watch the barges and traffic go on the Mississippi and see a lot of other statues and things along the way. We also managed to find the restaurant Manning's, owned by Archie Manning's, the quarterback for the Saints and the father of the Manning brothers. We went to the National World War II Museum then. This is a statue of Anne Frank they had out front. There's a few interesting statues out front, including these ones of the group of airmen in their briefing before combat. It was a well-done set of statues. Inside the museum, they had plenty of World War II aircraft. These are obviously the original ones. These are Flying Tigers. This is a B-17 Stratofortress. They had the guns on top and a ball gun underneath. These are the actual planes from the war, so it's pretty interesting. This one I think actually had to be crash landed in Iceland. It was later retrieved. This is a Corsair. I don't want to go through and name all the planes that we saw because I'll be wrong about some of them, and somebody who's an expert will say, no, that's not right. So there's a lot of planes there. There's information next to the planes to say what they are, but there was other vehicles there too. These are some motorcycles that were used during the war. But one of the neat things they had is as you go through the different phases of the war, they built little almost like rooms that were meant to recreate the area of the fighting. Like this is a hangar that had a shell through it. You can see the planes flying overhead. This is an area where the Battle of the Bulge happened, which was during the winter. So they have like artificial snow coming down and scenes of it, and there's a soundtrack going on in the background. It's quite good. It was almost like being in the Battle of the Bulge area, not like Battle of the Bulge, but area. And this is a specific scene too. They had kind of recreated scenes from all throughout the war. It was actually a very good museum. It's the National World War II Museum, and I highly recommend going to it. When we left the museum, we took a trolley car. They have a lot of trolley cars in New Orleans that take you throughout the city. They run on trolley rails and electric powered. This trolley car took us out to the Garden District, which is an area of New Orleans that's all very nice gardens and old mansions that are being restored, some of them, and some new, bigger houses too. It's just an upscale neighborhood with a lot of nice houses to look at as you're on the trolley line. It's also where the two universities in New Orleans are located. This is Tulane University. It's an older university here that is made of sandstone buildings because it's kind of old. This is one of the lanes out front. I think there's another lane somewhere else because it's just got two lanes. Next door to Tulane is Loyola University. So the two big universities in New Orleans. One of the interesting things I found on this trip that has nothing to do with New Orleans is there was a Target with a trolley escalator. So you stick your shopping cart on the escalator and it takes it up to the top, and then you grab it again at the top. I'd never seen that before. Another cool thing I saw was a car in the parking lot with these huge spikes on their wheels. I guess they don't want other cars to get too close. That's the end of our trip to New Orleans. Thanks for joining us. If you join us next time, we'll be heading to San Antonio. Thanks for watching. We're in Fontainebleau State Park, Louisiana, right on Lake Pointe-à-Chartres. Pointe-à-Chartres? What is it? I don't know the name of the other lake.
Poncho.
Ponch?
Poncho.
Yeah.
Pontchartrain.
Pontchartrain.